What the hell? What the hell? What the hell? Oh man, what the hell? Happy fucking New Year. Welcome to another edition of the What the Hell podcast. My name is Sean.
I'm TJ.
And I heard the Kitty Cats might go to the Super Bowl.
And before we continue, I'm TJ. I'm
right.
also a national champion.
That's right, baby. I should have worn mine. I should have worn my hat too, but I didn't. It's in the other room. Congratulations. It was.
Oh, hold on. I got to get on Amazon and buy a hat. Hold on.
Yes, you do.
All right. Hold on.
We'll send you one just to make you fucking
distracting
wear it.
me. I'm trying to get on Amazon to buy a hat. Motherfucker.
Hey, Jason.
I'd also have to make sure it's got Prime because I don't know if it'd be coming from China or, I bought a Darkwing Duck t-shirt one time and it was like, it's coming from like, it's coming
Shingles doesn't care.
Coming from whatever province, from wherever the fuck across the pond. And
shut up before I start blasting Mr. Brightside.
Shingles doesn't care.
I'm
getting such a kick out of that fucking commercial where they're doing whatever and then the guy in the background just comes out. I was like, Shingles doesn't care. So I'm gonna start doing
feelings.
Anyway, yes, fucking. I know my house was crazy. I know where TJ lives was crazy. Watching that game, fucking hail to the victors, baby. Michigan Wolverines, national champions. Right here to anybody else that doesn't like it. I'm looking at you, Ohio State fans, and anybody else. Kiss my ass. For those not watching on YouTube, I'm flipping you off. Don't care. My boys are national fucking champions.
Let me grab my phone. You should do that again. I'll send it to my buddy Jeff.
Oh, absolutely. So, I'd have to get my freaking hat. Send a picture of TJ flipping them off.
Otto was very excited too, but I think that might have just been because we gave him speed right before that. Can't remember. He was excited though. He was,
Get the screenshot for Jeff.
Oh, God,
you fucking said you were gonna do it.
I fucking whatever.
Quit making me do stuff.
Well, I didn't get it.
Yeah, there you
go. What? Yeah. Now, see. Now I've got YouTube flipping me off and me doing the selfie pose. Like, oh, look at that. Okay. Hold on. Let me go take a Jim selfie. Or a James selfie. Either one.
TJ? Did I tell you what I did to his buddy Jeff's phone at Jason's reception?
Hopefully
we talked about it on the show.
Why is it which way I go?
He left it on the table, and you know how you can, access the camera on an iPhone without unlocking it.
Yeah. Well, you can do that on like pretty much any phone.
Talk about it on the show, and then I'm like, hey Jeff, you shouldn't leave your phone on the table, and he's like, fuck, what did you do? Like, sorry, not sorry. Anyway, back to the point at hand. Here I'm just gonna grab this from right over here. TJ, remember this? He was there when I bought it. Go blue. Hail to the victors.
I like getting
mine is currently spinning, and I refuse to make it not spin until after.
That's not the spinny one.
No, I know, but it just reminded me of it.
Yeah. Well, then I'll buy a hat. You get on Amazon and buy a spinny one.
No, he has a spinny one. I got me the same spinny one for Christmas.
Yeah. That one's over there. Let's see here. If I go, there it is.
Yeah.
I just leave the camera there.
It's spinny.
Seems way more. No, all right, never mind. You had to ruin it with your face.
Shingles doesn't care. Fuck you.
That is true.
Shingles doesn't care.
That is true.
I would say that would be our update. National champions for our favorite college team. Thank you very much. Impressive national champions too. It really wasn't even close. And what I said the whole time that we knew we were going to play Washington, I think was the truth. I mean, Yeah, they got weapons, but they hadn't faced our defense. And if we could shut down their quarterback, it wouldn't go anywhere. And we shut him the fuck down.
I'll say what I said to everybody leading up to that game. Like Michael Penix, great quarterback, Heisman candidate.
Absolutely.
I was not afraid of him when he was at Indiana, and I'm not afraid of him when he's at Washington.
Can't mess with it. So that would be my update. Work is the same. Loving the fact that Michigan won. Happy for the Lions, even though I'm not a huge pro fan. I will watch the game tonight.
That being said, like if the Lions end up doing it and going all the way and pulling this off and winning a Super Bowl, I think my body might explode.
I think there might be a lot of spontaneous combustion happening in Detroit if that
happens. Like that would be like the craziest football year ever.
True story.
Sounds painful.
It does sound painful.
It's a pain I'm willing to take.
Well,
it's right up there with a tattoo. It's a good pain.
Worth it.
Completely
well, I
worth
mean,
it.
at least it's on the radar. That way, if we have to start interviewing a third person for the podcast because TJ exploded, like I don't know what happened. We're excited for him because he exploded out of excitement, but now we're just staring at all the books.
Well, I mean, like 2 weeks from now is Super Bowl Sunday, so we could try to time it up to where the end of the Super Bowl we're recording, so you can actually get me on the podcast exploding.
Well, what'll wind up happening, quite honestly, is you will just look like the logo.
No, you just hear a lot of fucking nonsense, and like you would see me like come into the frame for a second and then just immediately go back out because I'm just pacing back and forth.
TJ speaking in tongues.
No, it'll be pretty clear what he's saying. No. He is his father's son. It'll be pretty clear what he's saying.
I made the entire party at Christmas Eve stop last year or this past year because the Lions were playing the Vikings and it was down to the last drive. And of course, I'm focused in, everybody else is kind of doing their thing. They knocked the ball loose and like everybody just kind of sitting there talking out of nowhere. All of a sudden, they just hear me go, oh, 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 oh.
Yeah. What's wrong with
that? All right, so that would be my update. TJ, anything to add?
No, I mean, football's been life.
Any new books?
That one.
Oh.
That one.
I was gonna say I thought I saw an extra one in there somewhere.
Yeah,
wasn't sure.
We slowly add.
Makes sense.
What's going on with you, magnificent jackass?
Same shit. Up. Wife's on.
There you go. New shit. Very nice. Well,
besides that and the dog, but he was asleep, but then he heard the ring thing go off, so now he's not asleep.
So I changed
his entire world has just lit up because mommy came on. Yeah, see?
Yeah, of course. I changed my notification for my Ring camera. Everyone else has got the wind chimes or whatever. It drives me nuts. And they had this seasonal thing where you could change stuff, and so Halloween sound effects. So now when someone sets off my Ring camera, it's the screeching cat for like Halloween, which my dog has now understood to mean someone's at the door, which I find pretty funny.
Well, I've actually had it down here because we've got our finished basement, which is where we spend most of our time because it's way cooler than the upstairs.
Yep.
But down at the gate here, if he hears the ring wind chime thing goes off, he's like, "Oh, so somebody's here."
Yep.
He'll actually go to the bottom of the steps because that's the sound for somebody coming home.
They're smart.
And it's especially wonderful if it's mommy coming home.
See, I don't have a Ring camera, so I don't know. Can you record like custom sounds and use it as your like
Not as far as I know,
doorbell.
but that would be fantastic.
I don't know if you
Yeah,
can do custom, but they do have some change out there. I have to look. I haven't even tried really.
because I would love to have a doorbell where where someone walks up to my door, rings it, it's just me going, "Fuck off!"
I would
Well,
do that.
you don't hear, the person doesn't hear, it just comes up on your phone, right? So the ring doorbells do, and then whatever alerts on your phone. But I
No,
I love
That'll be awesome.
no, I want a doorbell that I can do that the other person hears it.
yeah, that would be cool. That's like yeah, have you ever used Waze?
No,
So, Waze is GPS directional, all that kind of stuff.
yeah, I know
And
what it is.
yeah, and they'll do custom stuff every now and then. Like they had a whole deal at one point for Batman Day where Kevin Conroy had recorded a bunch of shit, and then
Rest in peace.
you could turn your car into the Batmobile.
The
And so
definitive Batman.
it would, as you're doing your directions, it was Kevin Conroy, right? It was pretty cool.
As far as voice actors go, there is no other Batman.
Agreed.
Not
And
cartoon.
No other Batman.
And so then I was messing with that, and then I discovered ways you can customize it. You could do your own,
Mm.
and it just tells you what to do. So I did one where it was basically me doing a really horrible impression, doing a Samuel L. Jackson turn-by-turn navigation.
I think I remember you telling me about this before we started recording a podcast.
It was the funniest. It got annoying really quick, but it was like, take a left motherfucking turn. If it had to reroute, it was hang on while I figure this shit out.
I support this.
I found it pretty funny. I could only do it a couple of times, and then I was like, okay, it wasn't that funny anymore. But it was fun to do. Anyway,
They should have a voice option of like shitty navigator where it's like you're right up on your turn and like all of a sudden out of nowhere it just starts going, turn right now, turn right, fuck, you missed.
that would be cool.
I like that. What did
Now I gotta turn around, bust a U-turn, you dumb son of a bitch.
What did I just fucking say?
I have said for years, many, many years, that someone needs to come up with or adapt and have the root operating system on your computer, like Microsoft or Windows would always be like ding error or ding, and it should be like no, and then if you keep doing it, like motherfucker, I told you no, stuff like that. I think that'd be funny as hell.
How many times do I have to tell you?
At some point, it pops up like, look, dumbass, if you keep clicking it, the same thing's gonna fucking happen. Nothing. You're doing it wrong.
No. Just oh god, what's his name? I can't think of his name. The space odyssey, or not a space odyssey, but
Oh, Hal.
Hal, yeah, and
Oh,
like
yeah, there you go.
just out of nowhere, your computer just goes, I don't think so, Jim.
Actually, that is a Space Odyssey, though.
Is it? I
2001
thought I might.
Space
Yeah,
Odyssey. Yeah.
2001 A Space Odyssey. Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You had it right.
Yep. You were there. just turn to that light that was on there.
Oh, yeah.
What are you doing, Dave?
That's what it is. I'm afraid I can't do that, Dave.
That almost makes it better because it's not like the yelling voice. It's more like the calm, like
Yeah.
it's somebody collected very subtly telling you you're a dipshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, except like for most people, yeah, that would probably make it better. If that happened to me, I'm shitting my pants and running the fuck out of the house.
Disconnecting everything.
Well, what was the articles you'd see occasionally where people were, however, like their internal like ring cameras were being hacked or whatever. So like, what was it? There was one where it was like in a daughter's room or something like that, and the guy was just kind of talking to her.
That's creepy.
Mm-hmm. Well, there was also one where it was like a wife pranking her husband, but
yeah.
still, you get the other ones where somebody hacked it, and you're like, yeah, that's a little That's a little much.
If you don't know what can be done, it's freaky. Like there was one time I needed to get a hold of Stephanie really bad. And she has this habit of leaving her phone on vibrate, not answering it, which drives me nuts. And I knew she was home, so I jumped on my Alexa app, and I don't want to set it off, but you can make her announce stuff.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Right? It scared the shit out of her. It was funny. I'm like,
Well,
why don't
especially
you
if she's just kind of
answer your fucking phone? I won't have to.
especially if she's popping in on her own, you know.
Yeah, we were talking about something, and sure enough, she came on. It was like, added blah 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 to your shopping cart. I'm like, what the fuck? Yeah.
Well, if anything, don't tell a one of the Google ones to go fuck itself, because
What happens then?
well, it did one of those. It was something like I may not be real or something like that, but words hurt and some kind of. I'm like, oh, what the fuck?
When when
Okay,
you find some of those, they are so great.
it's just
Like you could get the phone on the phone, the assistant on the Apple phone to repeat the stuff from What Does the Fox Say?
oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or my favorite one is if you ask her what 0 divided by 0 is.
Oh
She
yeah, I
wrote
remember that.
she
I
roasts
remember
you,
that.
and you are
But yeah,
sad because you have no friends. Anyway,
I don't know. Going back to the ring thing and like the whole being able to like hack a doorbell. I know it's 2024, but there is such thing as too much technology. And I think this
agreed.
might be an instance.
Oh,
there
agreed.
is, there is absolutely the scarier part as stuff continues to grow is this aspect of technology, the whole VR thing where we've all seen Ready Player One where people just basically live in this fucking thing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
That's
What
coming.
that parent company of Facebook, weren't they trying to actually make essentially like the avatars in the thing, and you're kind of
They have. They
Yeah,
have.
I'm like,
yeah, it's in there. Meta Quest World or some shit. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah. It's
I,
not
eh,
Facebook.
I
It's
don't I don't
Meta.
go in there. I still basically go in and play my online poker and some stupid shooting games, Beat Saber, which is fucking fun. Anyway,
Speaking of games, what are we playing, boys?
I have been playing Jedi Survivor.
I haven't downloaded that yet. I was going to download that at some
It's
point.
quite good. I really I really liked it. I've beat the story mode now. I'm in the whole aspect where you're finding all the hidden stuff and
You're in
upgrading
the
you to do
hole.
all the other shit and all that. So I've been doing that, and then I played that for a while, and then took a break from it last few days, and I've actually been playing the campaign on Modern Warfare 3.
Very nice.
Every now and then I'll throw in a couple uh, games as well. But right now I was just doing the campaign.
Currently, I am on another playthrough of Dead Space.
Quality.
What this one is just kind of like it's something to kind of unwind. So I've just got it on like the easiest thing just to kind of play through it again. So it's not like I'm trying to challenge anything. Uh, and started off with Alan Wake 2.
Oh, there you go.
I'm kind of really early in that one.
There you go.
But
And
yes,
you?
Jedi Survivor, I wanted to download at some point. Actually, I did went through the DLC for God of War 2, Valhalla.
Oh, very nice. I finished up Super Mario Wonder. Fucking fantastic game for anybody that hasn't played it and is
Not yet.
thinking about it. It's wonderful. It's a Mario game. It's a romp. It's great. I got sucked into the latest fad, playing Pal World. It's on Game Pass. It's like someone ripped off Pokemon, but then like made it with like guns. It's ridiculous.
Never heard of
Like
it.
like it's exploded in popularity overnight. Let me put it to you like this, like in Pokemon, like you have another monster with you at all times. And if you want to battle a monster, you send out your other monster and they do battle. This one, it's like you start out, you have no monsters. You're like, I need to capture that monster. How am I going to capture it? Well, I need to lower its health. How am I going to lower its health? Well, I guess I'm just going to beat the shit out of it.
I support that. I thought I thought when you asserted early on that you were going on with like the latest trend or whatever, I thought you were going to go, well, I went to Target and stood in line for a pink Stanley Cup, and then
No, no, I don't. I don't get it. I don't
I'm
understand
glad it
it.
was. Oh no, I'm glad it was something else. I just thought, like, oh well, I was standing in line for one of those pink Stanley Cups, and I
Honestly,
I
come
honest to
at
God,
come at me, Stanley Cup people. My Yeti is better.
I honestly like when that whole first thing started, I kept going, why are people going for hockey championships?
Yeah,
Because I didn't realize
that was
Stanley was
my
an actual brand name for like
Well,
or
that
like
was
that.
my first thought too. I'm like,
Yeah, I
Stanley,
had no
there's
idea.
only one Stanley Cup.
well, yeah, and Stanley Cup. I've seen about 4 of those in my lifetime.
Yeah, so
Oh man, that I
I
I
don't.
I honestly agree with TJ. Like, it took me a minute to even jump on the Yeti Cup bandwagon, but
Oh, me too.
I kept hearing about it, and I'm like, it's a $40 whatever, you know, it's a cup, and so I got one, and this was, I don't know how many, it was a while ago, in August, right? And so the wife and I were going out to dinner, and then we were going to see Esther's Follies, which you've seen, Jason. Um,
hmm.
and so we filled this thing up with ice water and went to dinner, left it in the car. So drove 40 minutes to dinner, whatever, in there. So let's say we're dinner hour and a half ish, right? And then drove to Esther's Follies in Texas, locked in a car in Austin.
Hmm.
And
It's
so
hot.
let's just say it was in a car, in a hot car, for at least 5 hours. And we came out of Esther's Follies, and it was still ice water. It wasn't cold water, it was ice water.
The
And I'm
ice was
like,
still there.
yeah, I'm like, fucking sold. You could, it's probably 200 degrees in the car, whatever, and I still got ice. I'm fucking sold.
That's what I mean. Is like, especially as far as like the technology goes with the Stanley. It's like, why are we acting like this is new technology? This has been around for years.
Yeah.
I don't. Is it the name? I mean, because the cup doesn't even look that cool. It just looks like a fucking cup. So what is it? Somebody
Right.
tell me. What is it?
Are
I
you
don't know.
hearing any of the stuff going on behind me?
No.
Oh, good. Okay.
What's going on behind you?
The dog.
What's he doing?
No, we can't see the
Smelling-
dog.
well, he's singing us the song of his people.
You're calling upstairs and you can't have it.
Yeah, if I could actually translate, it would just start out with nobody knows.
The trouble I've
Yeah, I'm
seen.
assuming that's what's going on, but yeah.
Shut up, you drama queen.
For whatever reason, I think we were killing time. We were watching Ridiculousness the other day, like the only show that's on MTV now.
Yeah, I don't mind it though.
Which I mean, yeah, I'm like, okay, let's go find YouTube clips and show them to everybody. But they generally speaking, you laugh out loud a few times every episode. And he was showing one, a category that was basically like, I don't know what he called it, but it was goofy animal faces or something. And I swear to God, I laughed out loud. Everyone, this cat was chewing on its owner's foot, and then noticed it was being recorded and stopped chewing, and then was like, and it was the funniest shit. And then someone was on a balcony and they're looking, and they scroll over to the other balcony, and there's a cat off to the side like this, and they zoom in, and then the cat just. It was funny as hell.
One of my favorites is the one that the cat bites the foot, immediately lets go, and just goes.
Oh yeah.
I like the one where there's a ferret out of its cage and the dog, and the dog goes like at the ferret. The ferret is going to bite it. The dog runs away scared, and the ferret hops backwards out of frame, like "ha ha, fucker." It was great.
I'll find some of these now.
Anyway, still can't compete. Still can't compete with the Isaac Wells and the Skeletor facts, though.
Ah, well, yeah, that's also true.
Those are great. Well, let's get into it. We don't want to keep TJ away from the game.
You ain't gonna keep me. I'll just be gone.
Right? You'd be like, bye. Right.
You'll just hear me go, time's up, and then I leave the meeting.
Or those like slowly kind of like, all right.
No. No, yeah, this is an Irish goodbye. You're gonna turn around and I'm gone.
Like Batman, so that's what it feels like.
Yeah.
We don't know why it ghosted us.
But since you thought of it, TJ, why don't you explain today's topic?
Today's topic is the harmless asshole. Harmless asshole meaning times you have messed with people, but there's been no real consequence or repercussions for it. So it's harmless.
Every day of my marriage.
Yeah. I mean,
I was about to say, there's no way that my wife thinks my asshole is harmless.
Oh, Jesus, Jay.
Oh, wait, no, that wasn't the subject. Oh, shit. All right, never mind. Okay.
Especially after a load of Brussels sprouts.
Ah, well. That is also true. There goes TJ. Bye, TJ.
Oh my God. That was great. It was so funny.
I think TJ has a question.
I can't tell. He's coming. He's there and then he's not there.
I was trying to disappear. I just wouldn't do it. Except when I raised my hand a certain way.
That was weird. I was doing it.
I was waving by, then I'm like, oh, I disappeared. Wait, hold on. It's like it was like old school, like I was like doing like the fucking rabbit ears antenna.
Yeah, it totally was.
What was it the one time we were recording where the weird way that I turned all of a sudden because Lynn was lying on the floor, like her face just popped up?
Oh yeah, that was I think it was back when you were in the apartment.
Yeah. Kind of the same thing. Like I said, every time I turn, like depending on there's some kind of thing she has hanging on the wall that makes it look like I have a tumor on my head.
Not a tumor.
He's not a tumor.
There was something with like you can see the lighting over here from the window that's on that side, but there was something where both of you had some lighting or something, and you looked like you were getting eaten away, like in Back to the Future, like someone had taken a bite out of your fucking head.
Oh yeah. But,
all right, so harmless assholes.
All right, so you guys talk about that. I can't. I'm just not allowed.
All right, so I'll kick it off since I did have the idea. This just came to me randomly one night after reading an article about it was like the craziest people or the craziest things people at haunted houses have experienced or done, and it was just like funny little tidbits. So I started thinking about haunted houses, and there is one haunted house. I'm not a big haunted house guy. I don't understand the obsession with getting the shit scared out of you. That's just me. I'm not going to pay for it. Sorry about it. But this is, back in the day when, all your friends and it's Halloween, so we gotta go to the haunted house.
Oh,
All
yeah.
right. So first thing I remember about this haunted house is we dared one of my friends to go through it by himself. So the first image I see is, and like this is an outdoor haunted house, and like you walk in through like this big swinging gate, and the first thing I see is just him walking in by himself, just thinking to myself, I was like, this dude is fucked. But here is where I became the harmless asshole. So my buddy Chris, my best friend, he's dating a girl at the time whose name is Christina. And she's in the group. I mean, it's probably like a group of 6 or 7 of us that end up going through. And this was all her idea. She loved it. She loved Halloween. She loved getting scared. So let me preface that before I tell you what I did. So it's getting towards the end, and like you could kind of see the exit at the end. And out pops a dude with a chainsaw. And these dudes with chainsaws, like, yes, it's a real chainsaw. There's no fucking chain on it though.
Yeah.
So
No.
it's completely harmless.
The motor's on, but there's no chain. But it's actually running.
Yeah, you get the sound. That's about it.
Yeah.
That's all
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on. Shut up.
So your brain, the motor's on, but the chain ain't there.
But so
And for my internet to kick out.
so
She's taking notes on all this shit.
So Christina fucking is petrified of chainsaws. So she sees the guy and she kind of scampers away. And I don't know what made me do this, but like lightning fast, the wheels in my head start turning and just click. So I look at the guy and I go like this, and I go do one of these, and I'm motioning for him to come here for the audio listeners. And I go just right up next to his ear. Her name's Christina. Get her. And he takes off running, and he goes, Christina. And I swear to God, it was straight out of a movie. That bitch let out the most blood curdling scream and took off like Usain Bolt. And this dude is just running after her. He chased her out of the exit.
I'll say that's classic.
I love that. I love that so much. I'm picturing it. It's so great.
Meanwhile, because none of the rest of my friends knew I was going to do that. So everybody just kind of turns and looks at me as just like, oh my God, what did you just do?
Nothing.
That's awesome.
So that's what I mean by like a harmless asshole. That's where the whole idea of this topic came from, was just like, yes, I was an asshole in that situation. At the end of the day, it was harmless.
Most of mine would have to be, honestly, probably just hazing new privates when I was in the Army.
I'm gonna go off camera. I'm still here. I'm still listening. I just need to go off camera for a second.
You're good. Like there's a bunch of, they're probably well known now, and you probably couldn't do it, but there was always these hazes when you got a new private, you'd send them on some cockamamie, mission to do something, right? Like,
oh yeah,
one of the most famous ones out there is to go to supply and get me a box of grid squares, right? And so grid squares are map coordinates. There's no box, they're printed on a map, right? These privates have no idea, and the supply sergeants loved it. Oh, I'm all out, but and it would wind up being this chain, right? And they'd come back 3 hours later like, fuck you. The worst one ever, I can't even take credit for it, was a buddy of mine, and I witnessed it. So Okay.
All right,
Now
hang
let's-
on. Before you get into this though.
Yeah.
So essentially this is the Army's version of the blinker fluid. Like sending
yeah.
the kid into AutoZone to get
Yeah.
blinker fluid.
Oh, I'm sure blinker fluid's been used in the Army. Another one we would, hey, you know, go to supply and get me a box of TREEs.
So this is the Army. I can't get you weed.
Wait, there it goes. What was it?
And a tree.
Yeah.
Everything in the Army is an acronym, right? So
Oh yeah, yeah.
they okay, come here and get TREE. Someone gets slapped. My buddy, I was in mechanized infantry, so we're on Bradley's, right? And somehow or another, the fuel tank on his Bradley had developed a leak, and it was just this giant. It was basically plastic, is all it really was, and so they're going to change out the fuel tank, right? The fuel tank sits underneath the turret, so the Bradleys have the turrets on the top. Wait, here, hold on a second. Here we go. Here's a little bitty one. This is a little bitty Bradley, right? So here's the turret. The fuel tank would sit underneath, and my buddy was screwing with his driver, and he knew there was a fuel leak and knew it was going to happen, and basically he told his driver, he's like, okay, we got this fuel leak, they're going to change out the fuel tank, we've got to get the thing ready for the mechanics to do it all, but we've got to get the turret ready to come out. And the kid's like, okay, what do we got to do? He goes, okay, well, in order for this to work, we have to traverse, we have to spin the turret 100 times to the left, right? And the kid's like, okay. He goes, but we can't use power because there's a fuel leak, and electricity and fuel don't mix. Here's the first part what makes this fucked up. Bradley's most military vehicles operate off of diesel fuel, so the chance of it blowing up because you'd use power is zero, by the way. It was total bullshit. And so the kid's like, what are we gonna do? He's like, well, we got to use the manual controls. So inside there, there was the regular, like you would expect a power device that would do everything. And then there were two crank wheels, like old school World War II. And they weren't that big, right? And so you could sit in there, and like if you spun it around, the turret probably wouldn't even move an inch, right? Because of how far you were shooting away. And so we're in Fort Hood, Texas, in a motor pool, no shade. And he puts this kid in the turret and starts making him hand crank this fucking turret to the left. This is all bullshit.
Oh, wow.
It's all complete bullshit, right? There was that really wasn't what you needed to do to take the turret out at all. This kid's in there cranking. I swear to God, he got that thing around about 3 times. I think it took 30 fucking minutes. And he popped his head out the hatch, just drenched in sweat, like, man, this is hard. You ever had to do this before? And my buddy's like, yeah, it took me a week. Keep going.
I know you said it moved at like a snail's pace, but in my head the circus music is playing, and all I see is a tank with the turret just spinning round and round and round and round and round.
No, because you're shooting at distance. It moves so little, right? Because if you
for adjustments, I understand,
yeah,
but that's just what's going through my head. It's just
yeah. I was like, man, I don't even remember how long it went on for. I was like, that's fucking cold. It's just harsh.
Well, at some point, someone's got to look at the dude and be like, all right, you got to call this. He's going to die.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Yeah.
There, I saw guys. I saw guys, again, full size. This is like 32 tons or some shit. I saw a guy take his driver, poor Private Singh, Singh. Here's this 110-pound little Indian kid standing on top of the turret, jumping up and down on a 32-ton Bradley, to test the shocks. Like,
Oh,
the most common one, was get the ball peen hammer out of the toolkit that was included and go around and test the armor. Ding 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 ding. No, that sounds different. Wait a minute. Do it again. Ding 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 ding.
Hey, this is why I would never make it in the army. Because someone would tell me to do that.
Oh, trust me,
Pick up,
there's plenty
I,
of people that
I,
don't
I,
fall for it.
I would pick up the hammer, I would whip it at the tank, it would bounce off the tank, and then I'd look at him and go, "It's all good."
There are plenty of people that didn't fall for it. Like, no, that's fucking some bullshit. I'm not falling for that.
Like, yeah, like if you tell me to test the shocks on a tank, I'm gonna look at you and be like, "Are you fucking serious?"
oh well, yeah, yeah. I mean, you gotta at least have the like. Wait a minute, I
Yeah,
Just goes to show you that as
it's
long as you can sign your name, the army will take you.
it's not anymore. It's
Well,
it's hard. It's complete asshole. It's with the exception of the guy in the turret, man. That was some sweat equity. It's harmless, you
oh yeah, all harmless.
but yeah, it's never it's not fun to be caught in it, but you pass it on eventually. That would be the one that I can remember, the ones that I can remember seeing, or and I sent people to get grid squares, and yeah, that's about the biggest one I can remember that I actually did. I didn't fall for any, thank God, because I had gotten plenty of warnings.
weirdly I'm partially blanking on this one because I can't think of one as specific as those. Like I'm a sarcastic asshole all the time, but
I was gonna say it's because I live it every day of my
I
goddamn
was gonna
life.
say, yeah, I probably do it so often that like nothing is standing out.
Okay, well, I got another one for you, so
Go
maybe
for it.
this will spark something for Jason.
Damn it.
Maybe he'll think of something.
Or I will
So
not contribute anything at all this time.
I
So
was
what
here.
else is new?
Just like every yeah, 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 all right. Just waiting for
Shingles
it.
doesn't care.
So this is back when I was living in Round Rock, Texas. I had a I had a job at HEB, through that, you just kind of become like a group of friends with just the people you work with. It's just, especially, you guys work the same shift. It just kind of turns into like, for lack of a better term, a fraternity or, I mean, obviously it's not a fraternity. There are women in there, but you understand what I'm saying.
Yep, it's a click.
And so, at this point, I had moved into an apartment with somebody, and like he had his room, I had my room, and like we had like furniture and stuff, but for the most part, our living room was like generally pretty unused. Well, one of my friends' birthday was coming up, and she asked me, she's like, "Can I throw my birthday party at your place?" I'm like, I mean, really don't use the living room anyway, so it's not like that big a deal. Like, I don't fucking see why not. Just, let me clear it with the roommate, cleared it with the roommate. Everything's good to go. So, she comes over, all that gets set up. But before the party, she wants to go and have a birthday dinner. I'm like, all right, cool. Where do you want to go? Pluckers. And I know we've brought this restaurant up. Anybody not familiar with it? It is a chicken wing bar. And so our party must have been like 10 to 15 deep. Sean, I'm talking like they put us in the corner table, the big
Oh yeah,
circle,
yeah.
and it got to the point where like everybody gets in the booth and they had to go grab a chair for me and put me like on the very end just to fit me in there.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So, everything's going great and everybody's eating and laughing, enjoying. And everybody's finishing up. I finished my meal. And for those that don't know, I am a cigarette smoker. Yes, I know, awful. But I'm getting to the point where I'm like, all right, I need to go have a cigarette. Now I'm on the end, so it's, not a big deal. It's not like I gotta, make a bunch of people get up. But again, it was one of those instances where the wheels in my head started turning and it clicked. So right as I'm about to go get up, I turn and there is a server. And we've seen multiple servers because, huge fucking party.
Yep.
And, we make eye contact. And again, I kind of, come here. And I go, will you do the birthday thing for her? Her name is Lisa. And the birthday thing at Pluckers is
Oh no.
It's
not
pretty
your
good.
traditional birthday thing at a restaurant. They embarrass the shit out of you, meaning like stand your ass up. Here are 2 takeout boxes. Now you're gonna flap your fucking arms like you're a fucking chicken.
Oh, see that? Oh yeah.
Well,
All right.
no, but they also give you 2 of those cone water cups,
Yes.
and you have to put them in your mouth so you have a beak.
So
And the rule is if you don't participate, they sing louder and longer.
so I send the birthday thing, and of course I go outside and smoke a cigarette. I finish my cigarette. Obviously, the birthday thing is finished. I come back in, I sit back down, and everybody's sitting around laughing. And she goes, "Who the fuck did that?" And I go,
I am taking ownership of that right now.
"You're welcome."
I could have sworn I used to have, you know how it is. Oh, wait a minute. Hold that thought. We'll do it without sound. Here's my son getting the treatment.
Yeah.
And she's warning him right now. You don't do it, we're gonna sing louder. So you guys got to watch this. She's yelling to the restaurant. It's his birthday. There's his beak. There's his wings. He's trying not to drop it right now. And they're about to start. I should have just turned the sound on. There they go. They're clapping. So now he's got a flap.
Mhm.
I would kill someone.
Lynn, you got to bring him here for his birthday.
We're doing karaoke and dinner with friends and family.
We are doing karaoke.
Jason told me if I gave him a big party, he'd kill me.
I did say that.
That's one way to get out of the marriage.
I am very much my mother's son.
Like I said, that's like Owen did the sombrero. Of course, he wasn't trying to be an ass, but
Oh yeah.
your poor mother.
Yes, I'm very much my mother's son. If I can avoid pretty much any being anywhere near the center of attention, I'm perfectly fine.
Yeah, I'm kind of at that point too. Like on my birthday, I'm like, you don't even have to buy me anything. Just call me and say happy birthday. I just want like 5 minutes of your time.
Lord.
Zoomies.
First,
So all running around the basement.
Ouch.
the first dinner that I got to go to after meeting the magnificent jackass. This is kind of harmless asshole. You wouldn't really mess him, but
Oh my god.
but like he has this thing because he is Jason isn't putting on an act for the show. This is who he is. He's that guy. He's an ass.
What?
He's a magnificent jackass.
And
he has
Well,
this thing, and he's like that with us.
I think that's kind of the crux of this podcast is like we are all unapologetically ourselves.
And so we're at dinner, a place that my dad and his mom particularly used to like. He already knows where I'm going.
I remember this one.
And
It just
this would
clicked
be a
for
good
him.
story about being a harmless asshole.
and he's he's sitting there and you know he's that way with his own mother, you know, and he's giving her shit over something, and she looks at him. She's sitting next to me, and Jason's directly across from me. She looks at him, flips him off, and says, "You're number one, Jason," which is something that they would do fairly often. I said, and then Jason looked at her, pointed at me, and goes, "Not anymore." And I went, "Well, Jason, technically I don't have any blood relation to her, so to her, you're still number one."
Doesn't
And
matter.
she flipped him off again, and Jason went, "Damn it, science."
It still applies.
Got me again.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, I mean, harmless asshole that he's giving his own mother enough grief that she flips him off on a regular basis.
Well, look,
And now Miss Peanut has stepped in to take the brunt of that.
Mom and I have this thing where she'll ask me if the food she makes is good, with the full expectation that I'll go, "Yeah, it was all right."
So I've never told anybody this.
And he's going to
But-
break it out internationally on the show right now. This is
Well,
awesome.
Yeah, like
Better at least get us another 5 YouTube subscribers.
it's not that juicy.
All right, 2.5.
So
But yeah, you've never told anybody. It's juicy. Juicy.
well, I'm sure you'll get a kick out of this. So there was a while, I was still living with my parents, and this is before Mom got like real sick. But you know, me and my dad ended up talking one morning, and we ended up coming up with this competition. And it was harmless. It was just for $1.
Trading places bet.
No, but it was who could be the first one to get Mom to either tell you to like go fuck yourself or just fuck you.
I can see
Oh,
that.
yeah.
So I'd be sitting downstairs and you just hear, "Oh, fuck off, Michael." But I lost today.
That's fantastic.
But I've never told like Michaela. Sean didn't know about that. Michaela doesn't know about that. It was only me and Dad that knew about that.
That's the best kind.
Yeah. It really is.
I'd have to say at least one of my better options to at least be the harmless asshole has been your July 4th trips for the past 2 years.
Oh, dude, yeah. Oh, see,
Yeah. Well, and especially this last one for the amount of time that I had to stall.
yeah, yeah. That and I got to tell you that's a perfect example because I was talking to our father the other day, you know, and with everything that's gone on, you know, usually by now one of us has visited the other, you know, a little bit, and we obviously had to cancel the vacation plans we had in November. But you know, we're talking about everything because of what Steph's going through, and then what I'll be doing. And he's like, "Yeah, hopefully, you know, we can get together soon." And I'm like, "Yeah, I can promise you there will be no July 4th surprise visit this year." And he goes to me, "If you do that this year, I will shoot you in the nuts."
That's a good deterrent.
And I was like, "No, there will be no July 4th surprise visit." That yeah, because we got him so good both years.
Oh, we did. Well, that's what I mean. That was why it was a perfect opportunity last year, because like the first year you did it, I mean, it went relatively smoothly. Like you got there, you know. I mean, of course, we were making shit up,
Yeah.
you know, because he was already at the playing that show at the winery and everything.
Yep.
And then you walked up and hey, is this band any good? And he almost has a heart attack. But this past year, because of like traffic jams and what you guys are at one of the local hotels where when you said where you were, we were like, oh no.
Yeah,
don't
we
go.
saw that. We're like, no, this is bad.
Oh, so for most of this, so Wait, that was also the one, didn't they? They can't. Oh, they canceled the.
Yeah, because of the rain.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
We had
so
a
this is
rain
the
yesterday.
combined thing of Sean coming in. So we're keeping things from Dad just because we're trying to like, oh, he's gonna, but he was already gonna be at the winery to do a show. So they're kind of doing whatever. When Lynn and I get there, they haven't started playing yet, and we're like, oh shit, what the hell's going on? Well, the owner had it was the forecast said it might rain, so the owner was still pushing for them to play outside. Well,
Yep.
obviously, kind of a little not the best situation with electronic equipment and stuff like that if you're playing outside in the rain.
And not anywhere near adequate enough cover for them either.
Yeah, so they're kind of pushing off a little bit just because it's like, okay, it hasn't quite started raining yet, but the clouds don't look great, and whatever.
And they were told they were going to be inside.
Yeah, and he had just recently decided to do it. So, we're kind of like, as they're not playing yet and they're not sure if it's going to cancel, I'm going, fuck, I mean, Sean and Steph aren't here yet to kind of like, I'm like, oh, they're talking and they finally canceled everything. Well, Sean and Steph are still what, another half hour, maybe a little bit away or something like that. So I'm doing one of the like, oh, what? No, come on, let's sit and hang out for a minute. I'll go buy you a beer. And we're kind of, oh no, some of our friends are showing up. Why don't we'll sit and hang. So I'm stalling this entire time.
Hard.
Like, and just making shit up as I go.
Aren't you hungry? I'll get you some matzo sticks. Come on,
yeah,
sit down.
like, oh yeah, come on, we'll hang out for a little bit and buy the beer and I'm doing whatever and and finally I think you guys were getting close.
Yeah.
Round of fried pickles, please.
Oh yeah, and I'm like, I walked up because I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, kind of, and then Sean and Steph get there, and we come walking down, and then of course I get it even worse because it's like, we had stalled ridiculously for
at least an hour. Yeah.
And then finally surprised him. Well, of course, actually, the probably better one was from the first year where I accidentally flipped off your wife.
It wasn't an accident, Jason.
It was close. It was close.
That was pretty funny.
That was one of those. Well, because obviously I've used the thumbs up and the middle finger emoji enough. Often enough.
That it's on your recents every time.
They're like right next to each other. So she was texting me that they were like just about to get to the winery or whatever. So I went click.
That's great.
Hit the thing and sent, and then went, oh shit.
And I'm driving. She's like, your brother just flipped me off via text.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, why would he have done? Oh wait, now there's a thumbs up.
Yeah, but
well, so, at this point, we've done a podcast where they'd be like, Jason just flipped me off via text. I'd be like, that's Jason.
Yeah,
that is true.
Well, and I would say that's a harmless asshole move too.
I mean, most of mine are always like relatively small, like, we'll be, but we were in a marketing meeting the one time and the new guy wanted to say something about editing a photo. He's like, oh yeah, can we do that? I'm like, no, we can't do that. It's like, it's because of this, and oh really? And I'm like, no, of course not. But
it happens.
Gotcha.
All right.
But yeah,
that's our level of harmless assholes. If you've got your own stories, email us whatthehellpodcast yahoo.com. Yahoo.
Yeah, but don't be it anybody getting hurt or like.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
harmless.
If don't be the asshole that's like, I loosened the lid on the salt shaker. When someone went to put salt on their food, they dumped the entire shaker. Like, that's not harmless. You just ruined that dude's meal.
And they went to the hospital for a sodium overdose.
Now he has type 2 diabetes.
Like, what? No blood. No blood.
I did replace the sugar in the sugar cup with salt one year as a April Fool's prank for my mother and stepfather. They did not realize it until a week later. Did you? Yeah, I did. April Fool's Day.
I mean, if it actually would have been a prank, it would have been a great one because I actually gave her the ring when I proposed on April 2nd.
I told you what would have happened if you had proposed on
and everybody was like, is that like no, it was actually true. It was
nice.
Just happened to be on April 2nd, but
you'd be dead if you proposed on the 1st.
See?
Yeah.
See, I mean, you're talking to a man that hates April Fool's Day because my birthday is April 3rd. So go ahead. You go ahead and put two and two together and figure out what happens.
Yeah.
Well, actually,
A lot.
the niece that I have from my previous marriage, the two that I hang out with occasionally, one of them's an April Fool's baby.
Hmm.
Actual
feel it.
full April Fool's baby.
I feel their pain.
So,
They've gotten so many fucking empty boxes, and everybody thinks they're the funniest fucking person on the planet. And
oh, of course.
Oh, good times. Good times.
say, give me another empty box on my birthday. You want to see me turn from a harmless asshole into a harmful asshole? Do that.
Oh, see, there you go. The transition.
The transition. But if you've got a harmless asshole story, feel free to email us. We'll read them on the next episode. Put a comment on the YouTube video, whatever. We'll take it. Show suggestions, all that stuff. You know, whatever.
I mean, come on, for the amount of people that are at least watching one of the videos and the YouTube subscribers, you'd think there'd be a less likelihood of lazy twats.
Right. Well, let's wrap it up and put a pin in it because I got to go take a shit.
Well, all right then.
Just being honest.
I mean,
Everybody wanted to know that.
I mean,
Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm
gotta,
sure the listeners were waiting with bated breath for that update.
Well,
gotta
at least,
the honesty.
at least TJ's not here to drop his elbow on me. We all know what happens when he does that.
I mean,
Well-
at least if nothing else, since you've got that logo thing on the back of that chair, at least we're not like sitting here and all of a sudden you just went like, okay, all right, guys. For anybody listening, it was the traditional, baby stops and just makes a solid, just like stern face while they're pooping.
Yeah, it would be mid sentence though, like he's in the
Oh,
middle
yeah,
of telling
true.
his story.
True.
Just yeah, harmless asshole. I was a harmless.
Then the traditional right at the end. Okay, and then I mean, we.
Yeah, I was a harmless asshole.
If you haven't watched the SNL skit where Adam Driver is playing a baby on a plane, you have to watch it.
You killed him, you heartless bitch.
It was so good. It was so good. You got to watch that one. All right, let's wrap it up. Put the pin in it. Man of many books.
Where'd the echo? Where was the echo? I thought we did the.
Yeah, let me do the echo.
Oh,
Sorry.
come on.
Fucking
The man
quality.
of many books.
Production quality on this podcast has gone down. Jesus.
Fuck you.
So
Yeah, but now you just diminish the whole intro because now you use the echo on the second. What the fuck?
Jason, look at it this way, Jason. He shit the bed for you.
Oh, thank God. Yeah.
It's
Ah, all right.
ass, Jason.
All right.
All right, so
A good day.
people, there is currently about 4:30 my time on a Sunday. So probably in the range of like 5 to 6 hours. You, Jason, in Ohio,
Yes.
and you, Sean, in Texas, might actually hear me from your home. If the Lions do it, you will hear me at the top of my lungs scream Super Bowl.
All right. I'll be waiting.
So right now, I'm just praying that happens. Other than that, pray I'm still alive, people, and also be good to each other.
I think I hear TJ.
The magnificent jackass.
Well, just as every other time. Stay classy and search your hometown here. I'm talking to you. In whoever inserted a hometown. All right, never mind.
See, it works better when you just stop after you say the line.
Yeah, but what's the use in that?
Yeah, but it's like a comedian sitting there trying to explain why the joke is funny.
Wait, they don't do that?
No.
God, I'm
Not the
watching-
good ones.
I'm watching the wrong comedians. Damn it. All right.
Thanks for watching, downloading, listening, and until we meet again.